Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faika Berozwan. My matrix number is 01DAT23F1144. Today I will talk about definition of lease. Lease a contract or part of a contract that conveys the right to use an asset, the underlying asset for a period of time in exchange for consideration. There is two parties involved in the lease. First, lessee. Definition: lessee, an entity that obtains the right to use an underlying asset for a period of time in exchange for consideration. Second parties is lessor, an entity that provides the right to use an underlying asset for a period of time in exchange for consideration. That is all for me. Thank you.
The objective of Malaysia Financial Reporting Standard 16 on leases is to set out the principle for the recognition, measurement, presentation and disclosure of leases. It is to ensure that lessees and lessors provide relevant information, and it also gives a basis for user of financial statement to assess the effect that leases have on the financial position, financial performance and cash flow of an entity. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nunasha binti Hisam and my number matric is 01DAT23F121. Today I will explain about the recognition and measurement for the leases refer to MFRS system, and I will explain the recognition. The recognition is at the commencement date. A lease shall recognize a right of use asset and lease liability. For the initial measurement, at the commencement date, a lease shall measure the right of use asset at the cost. The cost of the right of use asset shall comprise A. The amount of the lease liability as described in paragraph 26. B. Any lease payment made at or before the commencement date, less any lease incentive received. C. Any initial direct costs incurred by the lease. And D. An estimate of costs to be incurred by the lease in the dismantling and removing the underlying asset to the condition required by the terms and condition of the lease, unless those costs are incurred to produce inventory. The lease incurs the obligation for those costs either at the commencement date or as consequence of having used the underlying asset during a particular period. For the subsequent measurement of the right of use asset after the commencement date, a lease shall measure the right of use asset applying a cost model, unless it applied either of the measurement model described in paragraph 34 and 35. For the cost model, to apply a cost model, leases shall measure the right of your asset at cost A, less any accumulated depreciation and any accumulated impairment loss, and B, adjusted for any remeasurement of the lease liability specified in paragraph 36C. For the subsequent measurement of the lease liability after the commencement date, as a lease shall measure the lease liability by A. Increasing the carrying amount to reflect interest on the lease liability, B. Reducing the carrying amount to reflect the lease payment made, and C. Remeasuring the carrying amount to reflect any reassessment or lease modification specified in paragraph 39 until 46, or to reflect reserve in subsistence fixed lease payment. We can see the paragraph B42. That's all for me. Thank you.
So now, I'll be present about how to present lease term in financial statement. It must be shown under three financial statement, which is statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss, and statement of cash flow. For statement of financial position, for right of use asset, it must be read separately or can be included with similar asset. For example, equipment and building. And everything must be disclosed in the notes, but there is exception. It is investment property. For lease liability, it have to write separately or must be included with other liability, and everything also must be disclosed in the notes. For statement of profit or loss, the interest on lease liability must be write as finance cost. For depreciation of right of use asset must be write as depreciation, and these two must be shown separately and cannot be combined. For statement of cash flow, principal portion of lease payment must be shown under financing activities. For interest portion, must follow MFRS 107, but usually falls under financing activities or operating activities. For other lease payment, it falls under operating activities. For disclosure of lease payment, the objective of it is to provide clear info so user can understand the effect of leases on financial statement, financial position, and cash flow. The few things to disclose is interest on lease liabilities, expenses for short-term leases, expenses for variable lease payment, total cash outflow, and many more. The importance of disclosure is things can be disclosed if it is short-term or low-value leases are used.